Hey Cam, hey AJ. It's King Friday from Portland, Oregon. My question today is for Cam. And Cam, a while back, might have been on the podcast, you were just giving some life advice, and you talked a little bit about serving others and that giving us a greater purpose, maybe helping us out of some tough times. And I wondered if you might talk a little bit more about that, talk about what you do to serve others and how that helps you. Thanks.
Great question. King Friday. Philosophical.
Thank you.
Great job, King Friday, with that question. I like it.
What were we talking about?
Was it in Utah?
I don't know where it was, but I think we were talking about like anxiety and conquering fear, and then we got into a whole thing, and then I was like, just if you struggle with anxiety, just go do something for somebody else.
Oh, really? That was your advice?
I think that's how we got there. Yeah, I was like, go serve others.
I wonder why he's intrigued by that question.
By that,
or was intrigued enough to ask that question.
Well, it is kind of weird advice. I feel like it's a little bit backwards. So here's my kind of thought process on serving others, and I guess I'll talk a little bit about what I do. But I think the alternative is the problem. I kind of feel like a lot of life problems come from the alternative, because what's the alternative of serving others? It's serving yourself, right? Whenever I've struggled with anxiety, it's because I've been trying to serve myself. And and that's super backwards from like the big, like what the world motto is right now.
Corporate America. Yeah.
It's like, do what's best for you, do whatever. And that's, in my opinion, is where the issues come from. It's when you do the opposite and you seek to serve others that things are nice.
Well, because what happens is if you start succeeding at fulfilling, serving yourself, I think it always ends up leading the path of like that higher calling or higher purpose is serving others, or else you don't feel actually fulfilled. So even if you don't start out attempting to go that route, I think that for somebody to really be fulfilled and happy, that it has to go that route. And I don't even think there's really another option.
In high school, I made a short film. The process of this short film and the result of this short film, I think, changed my life and changed the projection of my life, my career, everything. In high school, I had to make a capstone project to graduate out of the Academy in Visual Performing Arts. That's like what I was in. I was in the filmmaking branch or whatever, right? And yeah, I'm okay with that. Hey, we had to go to high school graduation, and I brought back, that was the only like thing I had was from AVPA. Like when you graduate, you have like the sashes and crap. Yeah. I was 0.1 or 0.2, like 0.01 or 0.02 GPA from getting like 1 or whatever. And that's totally
just being on the honor roll, you mean?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So I was a dork, but not like a 0.01 more dork.
Gold thing to wear around if you get on the honor roll, certain GPA.
Yeah, you get like sashes and cords. And so I had 1 cord. Anywho, doesn't matter. I had to make a capstone project, and I was like, oh yeah, let's do something huge. And that's when I went and did the short film in Haiti. Oh. Right. So I went, it was a missions trip, and I was like, I'm going to go document what happens. And what happened and what was the goal? The goal of the trip was bring medical supplies, bring medical personnel, nurses, all that stuff to the poorest city in Haiti, which is Onaville. We went into like churches there or whatever and did medical clinics, right? Go there to serve others. Yet the story, I interviewed everyone going on the trip before, I interviewed everybody going on the trip after the trip was done. And, with shooting documentaries, that's what you and I do. All we do is shoot documentaries.
Yep.
You don't know what the story's going to be, right? You have no idea going in.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's going to be. We go to Supercross, anything can happen. Like, and the story, and you have to let the story write itself. You have to just shoot it in a way that, whatever is going to come out of it. I came home and the story that came out of it was serving all those people did infinitely more for me than what we were doing for them. Because, and obviously in that specific realm, it was, we were doing a medical trip, you know, we were giving their immune system a huge boost for a week or two, which is huge, right? But I mean, we weren't doing surgeries. We weren't, you know, like they eat, what are they called? Mud cakes, mud pies, where literally they'll mix up mud and put herbs and spices, and that's what they eat. I mean, it's that level, right? Yeah, it's just crazy. But the story that we came home with was, you know, we went to go serve them and help them, and what they did for us was infinitely more. And that is what I mean by that. I think when you try to, when you're out to serve yourself is when things get wild. Just serve others.
Yeah. That's why I think that I didn't do this intentionally, because I was just ending up where I didn't have any purpose. I didn't have any direction at all. 8 years ago, I just sort of stumbled upon this path, and now I'm like, wow, thank goodness that this is the path I ended up on, because it's the fulfilling one. Like the racing is sort of, that's fulfilling, that's serving yourself.
Yeah.
Which is why what is the end game? The end game is like a weird, either you like, that's why so many people are lost and depressed and have no idea what to do when it's over, because you've served yourself for so long, and then you're like, what do I do now?
Right. None of it matters.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're out to serve your, like, I mean, yeah. Crazy, huh?
Yep. So that's, I think the advice I give to people often is, and I forget who I heard this from, but figure out get really good at something, or figure out what you're really good at, and then figure out how to serve other people with that thing.
Yeah.
So although motocross might not be important, at least you're serving others, and like,
it's the only thing that matters.
People were pumped today.
Dude. Yeah.
Like it's just always,
This whole year for me has been
always like that.
Yeah.
has
And
done
then-
so much more for me than it has for all those students. And yeah, we had a good time with everybody. Every tour date is great, but it's like,
Yeah.
man, I couldn't live without this, honestly. Like,
Well, that's the thing. That's the core, right? Is you're
Yeah.
just showing up, teaching kids how to ride dirt bikes,
yeah,
right? And like, what do you receive from that?
yeah. Well, what do you mean? I just answered that.
Yeah.
Like it's what they get out of it that makes me happy. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Cool,
And
huh?
you just leave recharged,
Yeah.
which is nice, because I think when you finish an activity of serving yourself, that's when you're drained normally. Well, I leave today was a freaking long day,
yeah.
but it's like the best type of long day,
Yeah.
which is nice. So again, kind of stumbled upon this really accidentally, because the Moto Academy started from the beginning of me just trying to go to the track to do private lessons, just to make money to be able to pay a car payment on a truck that I shouldn't have bought.
Was it the Evo?
No, it was a F-150 Lariat 2005.
2005, dude.
Whoa.
But it was old. I mean, it was in 2010 that I bought it.
Yeah.
So 5 years old.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. It was like $15,000. So I just had like a car payment of like $300, $280 a month. I had to pay gas.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to do something to pay this, and then just started doing private lessons. But thank goodness, because now it's the best it's the only thing. I would never work as hard as I do to create something if it weren't to serve other people.
Do you want to
Because
know
what would be the point?
Yeah.
There wouldn't be one.
Do you want to know the reason why I had so many jobs? That's the reason why. Like
I figured out today that he also sold trailers.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so I was an asphalt laborer for a long time.
Wow.
That was what I did most recently before this. Landscape construction. Sold trailers for some reason. Worked at a speedway. Like, did a bunch of all these random things. And like the reason why I didn't last long longer than, I don't know, a year and a half to 2 years at these jobs because there's no purpose. Like I was just wasn't doing what I liked, wasn't helping anybody, it wasn't fulfilling at all.
And it's unfortunate because I think most people, even on a grander scale, end up in that situation their entire lives. They end up in a career that they don't like because they're chasing money, which that's a whole other conversation, but it's just the poor guidance to think that it's about trying to find a career to make money. And then you're unhappy the whole time. The whole time. The only thing that would create happiness in a person's like that life would be family, which obviously is the most important thing. But yeah. Okay. Well, podcast episode wrapped up.
Yep.
Okay.
That was a good ending.
King Friday. Good question. If you guys enjoyed this podcast clip and you want to listen to full episodes, go download them. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I think that's it. Go download them there. Give them a listen. If you want to watch full episodes, which I tell you what, it's even better to do that. Go to club.themotoacademy.com because Moto Academy subscribers inside of the app have exclusive access to watch the entire episodes. And not only that, the subscribers actually can send in their questions to be answered on the podcast as well. Club.themotoacademy.com. Go subscribe.